You're listening to A Tiny Homestead, the podcast comprised entirely of conversations with homesteaders, cottage food producers, and crafters. I'm your host, Mary Lewis. Today I'm talking with Amy Bolduc at Grounded in Maine in Virginia. I know that's weird, but that's how it falls. Good morning, Amy. How are you?
Hi, I am doing fine, thanks. I know it's such a funny thing. People are like, "Where are you?" Like, I'm in Virginia, but why is your podcast grounded in Maine? Well,
because your heart will always be grounded in Maine. That's why.
I mean, 49 years is not like, that's nothing. That's not nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what's the weather doing in Virginia this morning?
Oh, geez. It's so cold this morning. Like, I'm sure it's not Minnesota cold, but it's still cold. I mean, it was 15 degrees when we were walking this morning. And yesterday we had 45 mile per hour winds. And it was not much warmer. So, but then 2 weeks ago, I mean, if you're asking about weather, the weather here is so weird. I mean, all of like November, December, it was beautiful, like 40s probably. And I know I everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cold. It's snowing. And I'm like, well, I don't want to say anything because I'm in the South, blah, blah, blah. But then 2 weeks ago, the weather forecast was looking like my weather app was telling me we were going to get up to 21 inches of snow.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is this about? And then when it actually came, it was like a dusting of snow, but then 1.5 inches of freezing rain. Which I would prefer 21 inches of snow a million times over freezing rain and ice.
Yeah, anyone who's dealt with freezing rain would agree 1,000%. Freezing rain is so dangerous.
Yeah. And it's, it just is like, but since then, so last weekend, my trusty weather app that I've been using for years lied to me and said, maybe between 1 to 3 inches of snow. I'm like, okay, that's no big deal. But then we got 10-ish inches of snow. And it was fluffy snow, which was cool. But then, like, when I moved here, I did not get a snow shovel because I was, last winter we had 4 inches total, like all winter long, 2-inch storms. And I was like, that is no big deal. And then this year, and then the ice, I was like, I'm not even shoveling that. I literally can't shovel that. But so I have a travel trunk shovel, which it's in 2 pieces and it's rickety and plastic. I've had it for probably 20 years and hardly ever used it, only when I was working and I got stuck in a snowstorm. But so that's what I've been using. I actually went out yesterday to try to get a real shovel and they were out. Of course.
Yeah.
Because we just got 10 inches of snow. But yeah, I mean, the weather is great. And then, Tuesday it's supposed to be like 60. I don't think there's like Virginia weather. I think it's just whatever happens. Like it just feels like.
Yeah, Mother Nature has become extremely bipolar over the last 2 years.
That's a great way to say it.
Maybe she's going through menopause too. I don't want to make you jealous, but it's what is it right now? I'm looking at my weather app. It's 27 degrees here in Minnesota in Lesor right now. And it's supposed to be 38 for the high. Tomorrow, 45 for the high. Tuesday, 38. Wednesday, 38. Thursday, 40. Friday, 40.
Well, that's like making up for the last 2 weeks when it was below zero.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We had 14 or 15 days in a row where we never got close to freezing, to 32 degrees. Oof. And it was the longest stretch I've seen in years, and it sucked. No question.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the weather update. I always do the weather update.
Start with a weather update, folks.
Oh, I always do.
In case you need to know.
Every podcast opens with how's the weather because we're all doing stuff that weather impacts, and I figure it's a good way to do it. So
we're all experiencing weather.
We sure are. When we're trying to grow stuff or, if we have chickens.
Raise animals.
Yeah, it's kind of important to know what we're walking out into. Yeah. So that leads me to my first question. I saw that your chickens are starting to lay again, beautiful eggs.
Yeah.
How are the chickens doing and how many do you have?
The chickens are good. I have 5. I've had one. Miss Lacey never stopped laying. Like every so often she'll skip a day, but then the next day she's like, before I even get there, she's already laid her egg.
Mm-hmm.
She has not taken a break. Jason, however, has not laid an egg for at least 2 months.
Yep.
And Jason is a hen. She came to me with that name. Jason Kelsey. I don't know. I think that's football.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's football.
That's the name that she came with.
That's so funny. And
she's very nice and she's very pretty, but she had a really, really rough molt and she was really funny looking. I'm sorry, Jason. I know you can't hear this, but she was funny looking. But like it's always the worst timing when they molt. Do you have chickens, Mary?
I have 18.
You have 18. Okay. How many kittens do you have now?
Well, technically we have 3 kittens, but they're about 5 months old now.
Oh, well, they're still kittens. Okay. So I have 5 still. I have not lost a single chicken in a year.
Good job.
They barely see the light of day, but I feel like that's a good trade-off. I mean, they do. They get out like an hour at the end of the day because that's when I am not working and I can actually be out there with them. And even if I'm not out there with them, like usually when I get out of work. So now because with the time change and the light, longer darkness, whatever. So I get out of work at 4:30. My dog and I walk at 4:30 and I let the chickens out at 4:30 because 5:30 it's going to be dark. So I let them out at 4:30 and I leave my phone while we're walking with music playing so that the predators don't feel like they're alone.
Yep. I just looked at my Farmer's Almanac wall calendar and daylight savings time is March 8th. So we only have a few more weeks until
literally a month. Literally
Yep.
a month from today.
Yep. So yeah, I know, me too. I was like, yay, more light in the evening would be great.
It's so sad that we have to wait until March. I mean, like really, winter is just, I know winter is a season of rest, but some of us don't get to do that. And then it's just miserable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I just had a thought and it went bye-bye because that's what happens. I'm very excited to know that daylight savings time switch is only a month away because that means that good consistent spring weather is only 2 months away.
Yeah, it's just, it's like there are no holidays, so we're like March 8th, come on, March 8th. Never push the time to move as quickly as this last month for sure.
Yes, and I figure in Minnesota we have March Madness, which is the hockey tournaments, I think.
Oh,
and
is it
always?
It's not basketball? Baseball.
I can't remember. It's hockey or basketball. It might be both. Who knows? I'm not.
Don't take sports information from us, peeps.
Yeah, I am not a sports fanatic at all. But what I do know is that March, because of the tournaments that are going on, is always terrible for weather. Because of course it would be, because people are traveling in for the tournament.
Well, it's like in between, right? Like you're waiting for spring and you're so anxious for spring, but winter's like, I'm just gonna hang on a little bit longer. Just gonna throw a little crap your way.
Yeah. And it's always March. It's always the worst month. Like February is okay. I can deal with February, but March is the worst because everybody's so excited about this tournament thing. And I'm like, yeah, good luck driving in that 3 feet of snow we're probably going to get.
Oh, it's so, it's like going out with a bang. The last hurrah.
Yes, it is. And then I'm like, okay, it's going to be peony season soon. So I'm all for it. So let's get back to the whole Grounded in Maine, and you live in Virginia now. When I first interviewed you 2 years ago, I think it was, you were in Maine.
I was in Maine.
And then you got divorced and then you moved to Virginia.
Yeah.
And it's, for the people who don't know, it is kind of a pain in the butt to change the name of a podcast.
Yeah.
So I don't blame you for not changing it. Plus, I know when we last talked, you had mentioned that you were trying to get back to New England. So how is that? Is that anywhere on the horizon?
Well, I mean, I would love it to be on the horizon. I really don't want to do another summer here in Virginia.
Yeah.
So my goal is to get back there in some form by like May.
Okay.
I don't have any big things happening though. My house has been on the real estate market since July, and no one has even like looked at it, which is really sad.
No.
But my realtor says it's just really expensive, but at the same time, like I put $25,000 in solar panels on this house, and so the electric bill, except for this month because we got 10 inches of snow, has been literally $10. Like 11 months of the year, it's $10.
Okay, I forget the nearest big city to you in Virginia.
So I am about an hour from Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm about an hour from Danville, Virginia, and I'm about an hour from Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay, what's the next biggest town from you, though?
I mean,
like how far?
Martinsville is right next door. It's just like 10 minutes, but it's not like bustling by any means.
Okay,
everything is about an hour.
Let's use the American definition of how far away you are from stuff. How far is the nearest Walmart from you, or Home Depot?
Oh, Home Depot, I think is like an hour.
Okay.
Walmart is like 10 minutes.
Okay. So if somebody wants to move to Virginia, Amy's house is on the market. You should go check it out.
Cute little house. Very simple, but $10 electric bill, man. And it's on an acre, a little bit over an acre.
Well, maybe somebody will hear the podcast.
And you can have chickens.
Yeah. Maybe somebody will hear the podcast episode and be like, I would like to check out Amy's house. Maybe it's somewhere I would like to live.
I would not be mad at that.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can go find your house where you want to be.
Right. I did, though. I mean, just yesterday Saturdays I get an email from the New England Farm Finder website.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. I don't know if you subscribe to that, Mary, but it's really fun if you're dreaming.
Well, I'm not dreaming, and putting that in front of me would probably be a bad plan. So
I would get nothing done. But so a new one came out yesterday, and I actually sent a letter of interest to 2 different properties.
Good.
And they were not selling. They were like leasing per se. And I got an email back just like an hour ago from one of them. So that's like, that feels like progress, even though it might not become anything. It's progress. I have my actually next week's podcast episode, the guest hooked me up with this guy who's also a podcaster. And Mary, you might be interested in speaking with him. His name is Tim Eng, E-N-G.
I have already talked to him.
You did? Okay.
His wife, actually.
Okay, Sophia.
Yes.
She's super nice.
Fabulous, yes.
They both are very, very nice. And so I got hooked up with Tim, and he is he's a homesteader, realtor, banker.
Mm-hmm.
And so I paid him to help market my house to homesteaders. And he's put it on a list of off-market homes, properties, which I've never heard of, but I'm like, whatever I can, I'll take whatever.
Anything to get the word out at this point.
Heck yeah. Yeah. And so we took new pictures. We changed the wording in the listing. I changed the wording in the listing because it was too sterile and it did not highlight the solar panels quite enough and the great things that are around here.
Well, fingers are still crossed, love and light, to get your house moved, because I know how much you want to get back to New England. I totally understand. I don't want to go back to New England. I am really, really happy with where we ended up. And I feel like a traitor saying that, but I am assimilated.
I mean, Minnesota is pretty similar to Maine.
It is. It's just missing.
But that's where your people are.
Yeah, it's just missing the ocean half an hour away and mountains the other half an hour away. Yeah. But I can live without those things. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really a complication, but just like literally yesterday, my sister's been in Greensboro, North Carolina. She took a job transfer a month ago. She started in December. And then just yesterday, she and her spouse and their dogs drove from Cincinnati, where they've been living for the last like 8 years, to North Carolina. So now they're living an hour away from me.
God, I can't imagine moving again.
I know. I can't either, but I also can't imagine staying.
Yeah, if I didn't love where we are so much, it would be a different story. But my God, trying to move a 20 years worth of stuff out of a small house into a bigger house, you would have thought that we would have had lots of room.
Yeah.
And after 5 years, we're starting to be like, okay, it's time to really deep clean the house and get stuff out of here again.
Right. Well, I think you and I are similar in that we're thoughtful about what we let go of. My sister was like, I don't want to move this. I don't want to move this. And so they had a dumpster. Mm-hmm. And she showed me the pictures of her new place, which has this beautiful deck. And she was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to bring the grill or not. And I'm like, but you have that deck. And she was like, well, but it doesn't work that great. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess, they also move a lot. I mean, 8 years is a long time for them to be in the same place. Mm-hmm. So, I think they don't have what's the word that I need? Like nostalgia for stuff. Stuff doesn't hold their emotions like it does me.
Doesn't hold their hearts. Yes.
Yeah. Travel does. So here they are again.
Yeah. I hate travel. I hate it. I have done so many road trips between New England and the Midwest in my life because my grandparents lived in Illinois when I was a kid. That I'm kind of over it. Being stuck in a car or an airplane or a train just does not do it for me anymore.
Yeah.
I would rather have people come visit me at this point than go,
For sure.
So we're going to totally jump tracks here. I saw that your cats, maybe one of them got sprayed by a skunk. Is that right?
Yeah.
A couple months ago?
Maybe a month ago.
And you mentioned that you had a trick to get rid of the stinkiness. So what's the trick?
Right. Well, I mean, I just Googled it because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this actually happened. I never thought that it would actually happen. Mm-hmm. So Google said, what was it? A quart of hydrogen peroxide. I forget how much baking soda, but I can get that to you.
Yeah.
So hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and dish soap.
Was it specifically Dawn dish soap or is it any dish soap?
Well, I don't have Dawn dish soap, so okay. It might have said Dawn.
Okay. Well, Dawn's just really good at really, really good. I mean, yeah. I'm not sponsored by Dawn dish soap. Don't take it that way, but Dawn dish soap is really good at cutting oils.
But Dawn, if you're interested, Mary's looking for sponsors.
I always am, but I'm not sure Dawn would be the one, but we'll see what happens. But it's really, really good at cutting oils. It's fantastic. They use it.
They use it after oil spills.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm assuming that the skunk spray probably has natural oils from the skunk in it, and maybe that would help. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what I did worked great. I mean, I was very, very happy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't let her inside because I don't want that in my house. But then it was cold enough that I was like, we're just going to take this into the entryway, and I gave her the little bath in the entryway, and then it was, better.
Yeah. Yep. My parents' dog, when I was a teenager, got sprayed by a skunk, and he was a Samoyed. The big white
so much hair
dogs.
Holy moly.
And my dad tried using tomato sauce.
Yeah, that's what we grow up learning, right? Mm-hmm. Tomato juice cuts it.
Yeah, but then
it stains a white dog.
Well, that was fine, but he was still stinky for months. Poop. And the worst part is that he took a full-on hit of skunk. And of course, my dad let him in the house to try to clean him up, and my clothes smelled like skunk for months. And I was in high school. Can you imagine what that went over?
Oh, man. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody told me that cats and skunks usually get along pretty well, and I was like, what? But then as I was thinking about that, somebody said, really? Is that true? And then it like clicked with me that Pepe Le Pew from Looney Tunes
Was in love with
a
Penelope.
cat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think they don't necessarily not get along, but I think that my male cat was hissing and probably freaked it out.
Yeah, and skunks are finicky. There are times where you think they're going to spray and they're just like, no, I'm good. And then there's times where you think they're fine and nope, they're going to spray.
Yeah. But so this skunk came around. So it was 7:15 in the morning. I felt so bad because I was like, get away, screaming and slamming. Like I have a galvanized bucket that I keep my bird food in, and I was just slamming it on anything just to scare it away, and it wasn't moving. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I wonder if it's rabid. And someone eventually said that it's mating season for skunks. Like, oh gosh. But it was around all day, and I haven't seen it since. But that day, like it was circling my house, and it creeped me out so much.
Yep. The joys of living in an area where there's wildlife that can just come visit anytime they want.
Yeah, but this is probably the 5th time that I've encountered this skunk. I assume it's the same one because I'm guessing that this is the same one that I caught last year in a trap, thinking that I was getting a possum.
Oh, no.
So I put the Have a Heart trap in my chicken pen, which is where one of my chickens was killed. And I saw the possum. So I'm like, I'm going to catch that bugger. And I caught a skunk.
Yeah.
And I got sprayed when I tried to move it, of course. And then I found out that it's illegal to move it from where it was living. So it's not like you can just move it 7 miles away or something like that. They said it's illegal. So the options are kill it, which there's no reason to kill it. It's doing its skunk thing.
Yeah.
Or release it.
Oh my God.
So I had a trapper come and he released it back into the woods, and and it keeps coming back. I mean, I've seen it in my chicken coop a couple times, and I've just the chickens now are barricaded so that no one can get into their coop. They have a safe space, and then usually all the critters are gone when the light turns on at 4:30 and the light starts to come in. Most of them are nocturnal, so they bail, and I just leave the chickens in until it's light.
Your chickens have a safe room.
I know. I can't believe that it's taken me this long. But I mean, safe as in they are barricaded with cinder blocks. Like I've got them all around the outside of the inside and the outside of their coop, and their door, which it used to be just like a pillowcase, a pretty pillowcase with a tree heart that they could just push in and out. Yeah. Now it's blocked.
Not only do your chickens have a safe room, they have a fortress.
That is true.
I'm all for this. This is the love that you have for your chickens, and for not wanting a skunk to get in there.
Heck yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's actually part of homesteading ish, isn't it, Mary? Like you learn as you go how much, if what you're doing is not safe enough, you need to add to, right? Or be innovative and figure out how to make everyone safe and get everything done right.
It absolutely is part of being homesteadish. And did I tell you about the raccoons that showed up this past spring here?
Oh, no.
Yeah, Mama.
I have a raccoon story too.
Yeah, a raccoon showed up, a big raccoon showed up. And my husband tried to dispatch it and missed. Oops. And then about a week and a half, no, I'm sorry, couldn't have been that short of an amount of time. Like a month later, I got up in the morning and was going out on the porch to drink my coffee, and I opened the door to the porch, and I heard all these little scritchy noises, and it was a mama raccoon,
with
and
babies.
she had like 4 or 5 babies, and they'd all come up on the cement pad that's outside the porch,
Oh my
and it was their little feet scritching to run away. And that would have been fine, except that they proceeded to find the weak part in the fence for the chicken run, and they killed like 4 or 5 of our chickens.
Oh.
So my husband and my son went out and
Took care of it.
fortified the fence.
Right.
And it was really weird because I never saw the raccoon or the babies again. And I know that my husband shot the shotgun off a couple of times after they fixed the fence. He didn't shoot it at anything.
Right.
He just discharged the rifle or shotgun. And I think maybe the gun going off a couple of times scared them and they left.
Maybe.
But raccoons will literally rip chickens apart just for the fun of it.
Yeah, they don't even eat.
And what a waste. And I mean, I wasn't crying upset, but I was just like, those freaking chickens cost us $23 a piece.
Ooh.
5 of them.
Were they fancy chickens?
No, it's just that laying hens that are old enough to lay or just getting to be old enough to lay were expensive last year.
Got it. Yep. Yeah. The what do you call them?
Pullets.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we lost like almost $125 in one go.
Oof.
And I was just like, this is not okay. And my husband said, this is homesteading. And I went, sure is, honey. Speaking of homesteading, have you seen the Homestead Living magazine yet?
I haven't.
Oh my goodness. If you have an extra $30 burning a hole in your pocket for a subscription for the year, you might want to subscribe to it because it's really beautiful. It started over 2 years ago. And it used to be monthly. Now it's bi-monthly. So one issue, not episode, one issue every 2 months now. And it's gorgeous. And I get it because I was one of the founding people that subscribed. And I am not willing to give up my subscription yet. But I had an article that was supposed to be published in the, December issue. And my article got bumped because of the gift guide, and I was very sad.
Oh.
But my editor said, how about we put the article on the blog? And I was like, yes, please. So it was published on the blog on like December 17th, I think. And
yay.
It was just really cool to see it because I spent time writing that thing. It was nice to see it get out in the world.
Absolutely.
But it's a gorgeous magazine, and their blog has all kinds of information for people who want to look into getting into homesteading or who are homesteaders and want new ideas.
I need outlets where people are supportive. That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's very, very fun. I really want to interview Melissa K. Norris. She's the lady that started the magazine, but she's really busy. This woman has her hands in everything. Yeah. And I can't get her attention. And I'm like, Melissa, please come talk to me. That I can't get her.
Yeah.
Well, so we have a few minutes left. I wanna tell you, I'm very impressed with your podcast. You have had some fantastic guests lately.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, and your podcast is really about sustainability, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Although I take some poetic license with that.
Everybody does with podcasts. There are no rules.
That's right. Sustainability and then some.
Yeah. I love it. I see your little snippets or whatever they're called on your Instagram account. And I'm like, ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a really interesting one coming up in a few weeks. I mean, I don't know if you're on Podmatch.
I am.
Okay. You are?
I think so.
Why have I not seen you?
Maybe I'm not. I'll have to look. I'm on a whole bunch of pod things, but that maybe not be one of them. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. So a lot of the guests recently have come from there, but also some of them I've just found on Instagram, and some of them are just chance. Like, I think if you happen to listen to the one with Tia's prom closet
I did,
project,
yes.
she just, and there are people that just follow people because my podcast is grounded in Maine and she's in Maine. So I think that, she was just following me because of that. And then I saw what she was about and I was like, oh, heck yeah. Like, getting prom dresses and formal dresses back into circulation is so, so cool instead of being wasted. But then the story behind it was just like, makes you cry to listen to, but, in the most inspiring and happy way. Right.
Yeah. It's always the stories behind it that get you.
Yeah. Well, I love to be able to bring those out. And then I just think that, she was totally chance. Like I was looking at her profile and I was like, oh, I want to hear more about that. And then as I, when she filled out her guest form, she was talking about pain into purpose. And I'm like, whoa, this is going to be so good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so much, I don't know what happened, but I'm here for the, the stories. I'm here for the stories. And I love when they have a good story.
Stories are a hook. And I personally hate the word hook because it's like tricking somebody. But in this case, it's not a trick, it's a gift.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it definitely was for me, but then it just makes it relatable because people, everyone's lost a friend. Well, not everyone, but you can imagine what it would be like to lose a friend and to be able to create something so powerful from that friend's memory.
Yeah. And to honor that friend. Yes.
Yep. Yeah. And I just thought, she's got the girl that I interviewed. I think she said she has 3 young kids. Like her youngest is just months old.
Uh-huh.
And she's also running this place. And I was like, that just says so much about their friendship.
Yeah. And about her, about the girl that you interviewed.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there are some really cool people there, and I find them everywhere. I mean, I do a lot of, I scour Instagram, like not like in a creepy way, but just, there are so many cool people out there and I'm out there to find them. It's a lot of work, but it is always worth it when I get a really good conversation.
Yeah, it's a ton of work. I mean, I used to release an episode every day, Monday through Friday in the morning, and now I'm down to at least one a week because right now I'm having trouble finding people to talk with me because people are really busy.
Yeah.
So anybody listening who knows somebody, if they want to chat with me, you can get hold of me through the podcast information in the show notes. Amy, did you know that I started another podcast?
I know the last time we talked, you had interviewed me for this potential podcast. Did you start a podcast about podcasting?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Then what is the second podcast?
It is called, what is it called?
I don't know.
I do this every time. Like I read it every day in front of my eyeballs, but every time I go to say it, I completely forget. Grit and Grease in the Heartland, Women in Agriculture.
Oh.
And I have a co-host. Her name is Leah. She's Clear Creek Ranch Mom on Facebook and on Instagram. And I had interviewed her a whole bunch of times for A Tiny Homestead. She's a cattle rancher in Nebraska. And I just off the cuff was like, do you want to do a podcast together with me? And she's actually, 2026 is Leah's year. She just got invited to do her first paid speaking gig at the end of 2025. Like she was invited then and she just did it yesterday, day before yesterday. I don't remember. This past week, Friday. It was Friday. And she said, can I have a week to think about it? And I was like, absolutely. And so I messaged her a week to the day and said, did you have time to think about it? And she came back with, I absolutely want to do a podcast with you. And so basically, I didn't know, but 2026 is the International Year of the Woman Farmer.
It is.
I didn't know that when I asked her, and I found out about it afterwards. So our whole mission for this year is to find women who are doing big things in agriculture or little things in agriculture, or women who have had to leave agriculture and have turned that into promoting or advocating for agriculture.
Okay.
And I think we have 8 episodes out now since
that's
the
so fun.
very end of December.
Tell me the name of it again. Grit and Grace.
In the Heartland.
In the Heartland.
Women in women in agriculture.
Of course.
But the podcast is actually called Grit and Grace in the Heartland.
Okay.
So, yeah, you might want to.
Gotcha. I have some people that I can recommend.
Awesome. Fantastic. We just interviewed Carol from the Old Farmer's Almanac a week or so.
Cool.
Well,
Carol
a couple weeks ago. Yes. And I had interviewed her for the A Tiny Homestead for this one. And I messaged her marketing person.
Right.
And I was like, friend of mine started a new one. This is what it is. Could Carol come back and talk with us? And she was like, absolutely.
Cool.
And Carol has the most gorgeous laugh. And when she's talking and she's happy and she's animated, her voice completely changes into this other register of sound. And I love it when she's tickled. It makes me giggle.
Right. Well, I think it's something, it's also part of like something that it excites you, if you're talking about homesteading as opposed to, not that the almanac is not exciting, but like, it's something that you're doing, something that you are very involved in, something that, just makes you really happy.
Yeah.
I think that, I hear that a lot. And I think I do that too sometimes, but it's yeah.
No, it was so fun to have her on. And of course, with Leah being a cattle rancher, she is a devotee of the Old Farmer's Almanac. Yeah. And there was a rumor going around that the Old Farmer's Almanac was going out of print. It was not.
It was the Farmer's Almanac.
The Farmer's Almanac was going out of print, so we had to talk about that. It was just really, really fun.
Yeah, it's very confusing. I never knew that there were 2.
I did, and I always knew that the difference was that it was the old Farmer's Almanac that my dad used to buy, so I would just get that one. But anyway, so where can people find you, Amy? Are you just on Instagram?
I am just on Instagram. I've deleted everything else except for LinkedIn. So Instagram is Grounded in Maine Podcast.
Okay, cool. And you guys should go listen to Amy's podcast if you want to learn about new ways to be sustainable and all the amazing things that people are doing, like the woman she talked to who is recycling prom dresses, because that is amazing.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. As always, you can find me at a tiny homestead podcast.com. If you want to support the show, you can find that at a tinyhomestead.com/support, because I'm original like that. And please go listen to the other podcast. Again, it is
Grit and Grace in the Heartland.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, because I was going to stumble over it again.
Women in Agriculture.
Yes, it needed a tagline because Grit and Grace in the Heartland apparently could mean anything. And I was like, okay, well, women in agriculture pretty much says it all.
Yeah.
So, Amy, thank you for coming back and chatting with me. I appreciate it.
It's always fun, Mary.
It's a joy. I love you so much, and I wish you all the luck in the world with your home search.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we'll talk again soon.
Okie dokie.
Bye.
Bye.